You know what? Honestly, guys, I lost my voice over the weekend. It's great pain to talk, and they're doing construction work outside of my house on the street next to it. So, I'm in a fairly bad mood, and I'm just gonna read what I wrote off of the computer. So, and I'm not gonna edit this video either, because I have other stuff to do today, quite honestly. But today, I want to talk about Katniss Everdeen. She's this great heroine and the leading lady of the Hunger Games, which is pretty much absolutely phenomenal. And since Catching Fire is coming out on DVD, it's kind of a good time to talk about it, because I've been thinking a lot about it. How a criticism that I hear frequently about the Hunger Games is that the romance in the book is unrealistic. And often I've been hearing with the movies that Katniss was infatuated with boys, with Gale and Peeta when she was fighting to the death, and that seems pretty unrealistic. This is a totally invalid criticism, because Katniss wasn't ever really infatuated, and the romance aspect of the book is arguably the least important part of the story. People were infatuated with her, but not the other way around. Katniss is emotionally stunted, honestly. It's one of her flaws. She isn't in touch with her emotions at all. She was never infatuated with Gale or Peeta, and in fact, nearly everything she says in the book, and as the novel is written in the first-person point of view, Katniss says a whole darn lot. She just wants to stay alive and keep her family safe and fight for equality so children like her little sister Prim don't die in the arena. For evidence of how little Katniss cares about her love interest in the love triangle she found herself in, I found a quote from the final book of the trilogy. I hear Peeta's handcuffs slide down the support as he settles in. I wonder how she'll make up her mind, he says. Oh, I do know. I can catch Gale's last words through the layers of fur. Katniss will pick whoever she thinks she can't survive without. At the moment, the choice would be simple. I can survive just fine without either of them. Ladies and gentlemen, Katniss Everdeen does not care at all about having a boyfriend or various romantic entanglements. The only reason she did was probably because it was quite literally keeping her alive. Read the books. Read them carefully. Listen to Katniss Everdeen. She's a strong heroine who cares about her family, about her country, about surviving, about equality, about being a leader in a world that was in turmoil. About all of those things, and all of them were more important than her love life, which she didn't care much about at all. She was a well-written, three-dimensional character, and yes, I said she wasn't in touch with her emotions and had very little empathy, but there are very many good things about Katniss Everdeen, and everybody has flaws. For the media and for a lot of the people on the internet to focus just purely on the love aspect of the story, about asking if you think that Katniss would have been happier with Gale or with Peeta, I mean, it really turns the story away from focusing on the girl and how she saw the world and led a revolution of equality. And that's a real shame, because that's what the Capitol did to her. They reduced her to make her less of a threat. They made it so she was only a silly girl in love. And don't we want to be better than the Capitol? The first book of The Hunger Games was published in 2008. I was 14. And I wish I wouldn't read The Hunger Games for another 3 years or so. I wish I had Katniss Everdeen there for me when I was 14, though. I wish there was a character that told me there was more to life than romance and boys and silly things like that. And I wish I had Katniss Everdeen yelling that people should stop trying to romance her when she was leading a revolution. And that it's okay to not be in love when things are on fire and people are dying. And that it's okay to not be in love in less extreme situations too. And I hate that people reduce her to a love story, because she was so much more than that. And she's been a great inspiration to me as a writer and as a person, and the lessons that she's taught me has kind of stuck. And I really hate that people have just talk about the Hunger Games like it's a love story with some, adventure elements, when it's really the other way around. At least, to me, it always was. So, leave a comment with your opinion on this topic. Like, comment, subscribe. I'm gonna go make some tea for myself because my throat hurts absolutely terribly after talking for the past 5 minutes. Goodbye.